Hello, everyone. I wanted to pop in here and give you a quick but really powerful tool for dissolving anxiety in the moment. And this tool is a breathing exercise. And I recommend that you practice it first when you're not particularly stressed, so that when you are, you already know how to use it. It's really useful for when you're feeling worried, when you're feeling panicked, when you're feeling tension in your muscles, or any time when you just feel like you need to slow down. So let's get breathing. Now, you might think that I'm going to tell you to take big, deep breaths, but I am not. I actually don't believe in asking stressed out people to force themselves to take deep breaths. I would prefer it if your body naturally and in its own sweet time slowed down the rhythm of breathing and took longer and deeper breaths when it's ready to do so. So, here's the technique. I want you to start by simply focusing on your exhale, just paying attention to the exhale, not forcing it to do anything or forcing it to change. Just observe that you are exhaling breath. And at the end of your breath, I invite you to extend your exhale by an extra second or two. So you're going past the point of your natural exhale by a couple of seconds. It's kind of like letting the air out of a balloon, and then even after you've let the air out, there's still a tiny bit of air left. So you just very gently squeeze the balloon and let out even more air. And this doesn't need to be forceful. You don't have to clench your muscles tightly. Just see if you can extend your exhale gently. So continue to do that. And then I want you to notice that there's a space between the end of your exhale and the beginning of your inhale. Just notice that gap. And see if you can notice the moment that is the birth of the inhale. When does the impulse to inhale begin? Not the inhale itself, but the idea of the inhale. When does that moment happen? As you do this, I invite you to extend the gap between the exhale and the inhale just the tiniest little bit. Again, you're not forcing it. It's just a little bit of stretching that gap between the end of the exhale and the beginning of the inhale. Okay, so what do you do about your inhale? As you inhale, just let your body do so naturally, doing whatever it wants to do. You don't need to change anything about the inhale. So that is pretty much it. It's very simple and it has a very powerful calming effect on your nervous system. So to recap, on your out breath, you're extending the exhale by a couple of beats, pushing out a little bit more air. You're stretching out the gap between exhale and inhale by a second or two, and then you're inhaling normally. So just play with that technique for a minute or two while I'm talking and just notice what you notice. So here's the thing about forcing yourself to take a big deep breath. When we're in a state of stress or anxiety for long periods of time, the ratio of oxygen intake and carbon dioxide output is off. So, and this is true for both anxiety and depression. So when you ask someone to take a deep breath, the intention behind that is to bring more oxygen into the system, but the capacity for that system to release carbon dioxide just isn't there, which is why I love this breath technique that I just taught you. We are focusing on the out breath. We are focusing on letting go a little bit deeper in order to make room for influx. And this is also a metaphor for receiving. If we're holding on to too much, if we're holding on to toxicity, if we are holding on to anything, it prevents us from creating room in our body, in our nervous system, and in our life for this infusion of fresh oxygen, fresh energy, fresh ideas, to fill us up with new life and new vitality. So this is one of my most favorite tools for dissolving anxiety and panic in the moment. And don't let its simplicity fool you. Practice it when you're not feeling stressed so that the next time you are, that you can put this to work for you. So I wanted to give that to you guys. I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that you do try it out the next time that you're feeling a bit stuck in your head, worried, stressed, and that it gives you some quick relief. So if this has resonated with you, and if you are ready to overcome your anxiety for good, if you're ready to feel better, to feel more calm, more relaxed, and more free to do the things that you want to do in your life, then let's chat. Send me an email at the address below, and we'll chat about what you want to create for your health and what you need to do next. So, bye everyone, and I'm wishing you lots of peace and lots of calm.